Ancient Greece, a land of philosophers and poets, also gave birth to a radical idea, democracy. In Athens, around the 5th century BC, the concept of citizens directly participating in their own governance emerged. This was a stark contrast to the prevailing monarchies and oligarchies of the time. Democracy, meaning rule by the people, offered a revolutionary path where ordinary citizens, rather than a select few, held the power. The Athenian system wasn't perfect. Only free men, excluding women, slaves, and foreigners, could participate. Yet this early experiment in direct democracy laid the foundation for a powerful idea that would reverberate through the ages. Citizens assembled in a public space, the agora, debating and voting on laws, policies, and even matters of war and peace. This direct engagement fostered a sense of collective responsibility and ownership over their city-state. The Athenian system included a council of 500 chosen by lot, responsible for daily administration and proposing legislation. The assembly, open to all citizens, acted as the ultimate decision-making body. While Athenian democracy ultimately fell, its legacy proved enduring. The idea that power resides in the hands of the people, not a privileged elite, took root, inspiring future generations to strive for self-governance. The fall of the Roman Republic, which had elements of democratic representation, ushered in centuries of monarchical rule in Europe. However, the seeds of democracy, sown in ancient Greece, were not entirely forgotten. During the Middle Ages, certain institutions like the Magna Carta in England in 1215 challenged absolute monarchy, asserting the rights of individuals and limiting the power of the king. This document, a cornerstone of English law, established the principle that even the monarch was subject to the law. The Renaissance and the Enlightenment further fanned the flames of democratic ideals. Thinkers like John Locke championed natural rights and the social contract theory, arguing that governments derive their legitimacy from the consent of the governed. This idea, revolutionary in its time, laid the groundwork for modern democratic thought. Locke's writings, influential in both Europe and America, helped shape the intellectual landscape leading up to the American and French revolutions. These revolutions, fueled by Enlightenment ideals, sought to overthrow oppressive regimes and establish governments based on popular sovereignty. The American Revolution from 1775 to 1783 culminated in the creation of the United States, a republic founded on principles of individual liberty, representative government, and a written constitution. The French Revolution in 1789 similarly aimed to dismantle the French monarchy and build a society based on liberty, equality, and fraternity. The 19th and 20th centuries witnessed significant strides in the development and expansion of democracy. The Industrial Revolution, despite its social problems, spurred urbanization and the rise of a working class. This in turn led to demands for greater political inclusion and representation. Labor movements and suffrage movements, often facing fierce resistance, fought tirelessly for the right to vote and have a say in their governance. The gradual expansion of suffrage, first to men without property qualifications and later to women, marked a pivotal step in democratization. The abolition of slavery in the United States and other parts of the world further broadened the concept of citizenship and equality. These hard-won victories underscored the principle that all individuals, regardless of their background, deserve a voice in their government. The two world wars, despite their devastating consequences, also contributed to the global spread of democracy. The defeat of fascism and Nazism, ideologies fundamentally opposed to democratic principles, reinforced the importance of democratic values. The post-war period saw the emergence of new democracies in Asia, Africa, and Latin America as colonial empires crumbled and nations asserted their independence. Section 4, Democracy's Journey, Triumphs and Trials. The late 20th century witnessed a wave of democratization, often referred to as the Third Wave. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 symbolized the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe, paving the way for democratic transitions in countries like Poland, Hungary, and Czechoslovakia. This period of optimism fueled the belief that democracy was the inevitable path for all nations. However, the path to democracy has been far from smooth. Many countries that transitioned to democracy faced challenges in consolidating their democratic institutions. corruption, ethnic conflicts, economic inequality, and weak rule of law threaten to undermine democratic progress. The rise of populism and nationalism in recent years further poses a challenge to democratic values and institutions. Despite these challenges, democracy remains a powerful force for good. Democratic societies tend to be more peaceful, prosperous, and just. They offer citizens the opportunity to participate in shaping their own destinies and hold their leaders accountable. The continued struggle for democracy, even in the face of adversity, underscores its enduring appeal and the fundamental human desire for freedom and self-governance. Section 5. Democracy at a crossroads. Today, democracy stands at a crossroads. While democracy has made significant progress over the centuries, its future remains uncertain. The rise of authoritarianism, the spread of misinformation, and the erosion of trust in democratic institutions pose serious challenges. The global landscape is marked by a complex interplay of democratic advancements and setbacks. Despite the challenges, there is reason for hope. Civil society organizations, pro-democracy activists, and engaged citizens around the world are working tirelessly to defend and strengthen democratic values. The ongoing struggle for democracy is a testament to its enduring power and the human aspiration for freedom and self-determination. The future of democracy hinges on our collective commitment to uphold its principles. We must guard against complacency, resist the allure of authoritarianism, and actively participate in shaping our democratic societies. The journey of democracy is an ongoing process, requiring constant vigilance and a steadfast belief in the power of the people to govern themselves.